first ASMR video. This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, since I've been a fan of ASMR for a few years now, and I've been putting it off slightly. So here I am, finally making my own video to start my channel, my ASMR channel. Not sure what I'm going to name it yet, but we both shall see. So, I just wanted to start off by showing you my cassette tape collection that I've been collecting for, I would say, maybe 7 or 8 years, or maybe even more, to be honest. Probably close to maybe a decade at this point. I thought it would be a good start to the channel, something that I could make triggers with. So anyways, I'll get to it. So none of these are in particular order, it's just however I had them organized. And so let's see what we got first. We got Mac DeMarco, first album. 2. Rock and Roll Nightclub is considered his first album actually, but it's more of an EP. I would say that this is his official debut album, in my opinion. And I don't have it on vinyl, but I do have it here on cassette, which I think it sounds really good for a cassette recording. It's really dynamic and warm sounding, because he does record his music tape actually. I actually forgot how many good songs are on this album, and of course My Kind of Woman is a really good song. So what's odd about this cassette is that the tracks are in opposite order on the B-side. So yeah, this is a really good tape to own. If you ever considered getting any Mac DeMarco cassettes, this is definitely one to have. And moving on, I have The Cure, Faith. Trying to get it in focus. The Cure, Faith B-side with Carnage Visors soundtrack, which is a video that they used to open their shows in 1981. Really good track. That's the reason why I bought this cassette, because I own the vinyl and I have multiple CDs of this album, but none of them have an analog recording of Carnage Visors except for this one, and it sounds really good and dynamic compared to the CD, in my opinion. It's a bit worn out sounding due to the age, but other than that, it's really good. I'm going to open it up and show you. It's in really good condition, in my opinion, as well. It's the A side and Carnage Visors on the B side. This is one of my favorite rainy day, foggy day albums to listen to. And the bass 6 playing is amazing on Carnage Visors. Next up on the stack, have The Cure, Japanese Whispers. I don't remember how I got this one. It's an original UK pressing of the cassette, and it has all the singles with B-sides from late 1982 to 1983. So Let's Go to Bed, The Walk, and Love Cats, with all the B-sides that went along with those singles. And yeah, really good text on that. You can see Japanese Whispers. Yeah, I really love these songs. Definitely some of my favorite. The Walk is actually what got me into The Cure. Hearing that synthesizer for the first time, I was like, I'm diving into their discography, and that's how it all started for me. So yeah, it sounds really good too. And moving on, I have San Francisco local band, or they were at one point, No this album came out in 2021. Crumb. I almost forgot the name of this album. For a second I thought it was Jinx, but that was the one that came out before it. This one sounds really good, in my opinion. Like one of the best sounding cassettes I own. It's really cool. Black translucent cassette as well. I'm not sure what label put this one out, but they're really good. Like indie psychedelic band. And it's a really good pressing on cassette. Like I said, it's one of the best I own. And moving on, I have Elephant Gym with Dreams. This is their last album that they came out with in 2022, which came out just about a year ago. And I pre-ordered this cassette. And this one has like a OBI type of cover to it. And what's really cool, I wasn't expecting, but the shell is green as well. And this was one of my favorite albums from last year. So I had to own it on cassette because I wanted a physical copy. I also have it on CD, and this is actually a reminder that I need to pick it up on vinyl as well, because I know the pressing's are ready. So yeah, there it is, really good, like sort of jazzy math rock. They're from Taiwan, so I know they do traditional Taiwanese moments in their music as well, but really good instrumental band, one of my favorite bands out right now. And we got another The Cure with Disintegration. This is the US pressing, and I forgot how I picked this one up. I think I got this one for super cheap off of eBay, like less than $5. And it's definitely got a lot of wear on it. This one has the extra tracks from the CD that aren't on the original vinyl. But yeah, that's an album I own on CD, and I have an original US pressing as well. And you'll actually see that I have all the lyrics. I don't know why I decided to take this one out, but all the lyrics are on this one, which is really cool. I really like the flower artwork from this CD and cassette. So yeah, that's also one of my favorite albums of all time, FYI. Up next, we have The Pale Saints in Ribbons. So, The Pale Saints is like a dream poppy shoegazy band from the early 90s. I want to say they're based out of the UK or Ireland. I think it's UK, but I've wanted a physical copy of this album, like vinyl, and I noticed that there was a Discog seller selling original cassette, like dead stock of these, so it's basically brand new, but from 1992, and it's really good. This album is really good. It's not really the best sounding cassette, to be honest. I thought it was gonna sound better, but it's a really good album, and it's cool to own a physical copy of it. Check it out if you're into shoegaze. Pale Saints in Ribbons. Yeah, the cassette case is like brand new. And with that, I also picked up Lush, Split. They're one of my favorite dream pop bands. This one came out in 1994, and it's from the same Discog seller. Sold it as dead stock. It was still in the shrink wrap, which is crazy. This is an album I really want to own on vinyl, but the original cassette will just do. I actually owned 3 versions of this on cassette. I have the original, I think it's a Poland cassette of this album, and it's really hissy. I'm not sure what the mastering and duplication process is like, but here we have the original UK release of it. Really good album. And I almost didn't want to open it because it was still in the shrink wrap, but here it is. And moving on, I guess I'll show off my other Lush tape that I have here in the stack. This one is Gala, which is a compilation of their first EPs and mini album, Scar. So, this is the US. It's in really bad shape. It's like broken, and I think the J card is also ripped at the perforated line, but it sounds really good. I think Lush on cassette is the definitive way to listen to them. Moving on, I'll keep it shoegazy. I have Slow Dive's self-titled album. This one has definitely seen better days. I bought this one when it was brand new in 2017. I was really looking forward to their return to music, and this album did not disappoint, and I figured cassette would be the best way to listen to it, and it's really good. It's a really good pressing. It's almost like really cool cassette too. It's like one of the best. I would say it's probably one of the best sounding cassettes as well. It sounds really good. Their music is really good on cassette as well. Would definitely like to own their other albums as well, but that's Slow Dive's latest album. Looking forward to their new album coming out too. Hopefully it comes out this year. And another album, another Bay Area local band, J-Som. Now, this is their debut project. It's more so of a compilation than an album. At least that's how the main songwriter intended it to be. It was sort of just songs that they had. They just wanted to put them out. I think it came out in 2014, 2015. So yeah, Baby Blue cassette. I actually got this one signed as well from a show in 2016, which is really cool. This is like has shoegazy moments, but it's like indie rock. I don't know. It's definitely unique, and I love that bougainvillea on the cover as well. Really cool cassette artwork. It's a good one to own on cassette. And this one is kind of in the same realm. This one I have in the shrink wrap because, yeah, I don't know, I just haven't listened to it yet. But it has a cool sound. So, this is Japanese Breakfast's latest album, Jubilee. This one came out in 2021, I think. Pretty sure, yeah, 2021. And this is a really good album as well. I love Japanese Breakfast, and I've been listening to them since 2013-ish. No, 2014, my bad. When their first cassette project came out, I actually sold that first cassette that she came out with from 2014. And it's crazy because I actually, little story here, but I discovered Japanese Breakfast from the cassette manufacturer that put out, or that produced, or manufactured, or duplicated my first cassette, which is Airlock Humid Trips. This is me as a beat maker, and so I would check their Facebook constantly to see if they finished my order, because it had been like a month or so, and they would always, maybe every day, they would post photos of what they made that day. And Japanese Breakfast first cassette release the same press run as mine, and I really liked the artwork, so I checked it out. And that's when I instantly fell in love with their music, and I've been a fan ever since. So, little fun fact, and figured I would show off my first cassette release as well. Yeah, this is my own homemade copy, so it's a little messed up, but it's a beat tape, and so it has A side, which is day, and the B side, which is night. So these are like more daytimey beats, and these are more nighttime beats. This one came out in 2014, so yeah. If anyone wants a copy of that, just let me know. And since I'm talking about myself, not to be vain or anything, but this is the last cassette I put out. This is my homemade cassette. Used paint on the cover, and I stamped on the cassette. This is called Sea Green, and looks like the stamp I used is holding up. So yeah, this one came out at the end of 2020, so it's been a while since I put out a cassette. And moving on, I think I picked this one up at Amigo Music on A Street. New Order Substance. I think it's like a greatest hits. I want to say it's like all the singles up until this point for the band. It is. Yeah, it's like a singles compilation. And yeah, I saw it there. I think it was at a low price. So I love Ceremony, and I love like Bizarre Love Triangle and Perfect Kiss. So definitely had to pick that one up. Yeah, it's a cool little artwork to have on cassette. Alright, and with another one, we got Lush Spooky. This is the first Lush cassette I bought. I bought it at a little record store in Long Beach, and when I saw it, I was like, ooh, I gotta have it. It's the original US release, and this was the only Lush cassette I had up until recently, but it sounds really good, really dynamic and warm sounding, and not too much hiss at all. And so that kind of like, after hearing that, I was like, I gotta check out all the other cassettes and see if they sound as good. And I want to say this is still the best sounding one. For Love is one of my favorite Lush songs. And I think this is the most recent cassette I bought. Duster, Stratosphere. If you don't know Duster, they're like slowcore. Is that what you call them? Like shoegazy a little bit, but it's a lo-fi album already, as it is. And so figured it's kind of cool to have it on cassette. It's just one of those albums that seems like it was made for cassette. And yeah, it sounds good. Paper labels on it. Released by Numero Group. I think this is like the first time it was pressed on cassette ever, if my memory serves me right. Alright, we're coming to the end of it here. We got The Cure and Treat. Now, when I was a little kid, I wanted this on CD so bad. Me and my mom would go to Amoeba like every weekend, and I would get a cassette if I was doing good at school, because I used to be a troublemaker. And so if I was good that week, it meant that I could get a CD, like a used CD. And Treat for the longest time was the only Cure CD that I didn't own, and I would always cross my fingers like, one day. And I think And so, it's my favorite Cure live album. It sounds so good, the original pressing. But yeah, I never got the CD, and I just bought this one. I forgot where I bought it, if I bought it online. But it would have been like the past 3 years, maybe 4 years. I just recently bought this one, and it sounds just as good as the vinyl. Maybe not as clear as the vinyl, but it sounds really good and dynamic. And it's my favorite Cure live album in terms of mix and performance. I feel like Paris and Show kind of have that digital sound in concert. It's kind of lacking in the performance, in my opinion, and the mix. But that's what they intended with the concert live album, to have it sound like a bootleg. So yeah, this is great. I love this cassette so much. And moving on, this is really the cassette that jump-started my collection in 2015. November 2015, I purchased this one. It was like a limited edition, I think. It's Mac DeMarco's Another One demos, and this was around the time that I was really getting into Mac DeMarco after seeing his Coachella performance that year. Kind of made me a fan, and so I was anticipating this album all summer. And so I'm always a big fan of his demos, almost more than the actual studio recordings from the albums most of the time. And I prefer this one over the actual Another One EP mini album. So many good little jams, and I love the lo-fi DIY recording sound it has. And so once I bought this cassette, that's kind of when I started collecting cassettes. I had my own cassette, but I didn't really have that many until I bought this one. So this one I've played hundreds of times. I had it in my car for a whole year, basically. Well, not a whole year, but a long time. So I would say that's probably one of my favorite Mac DeMarco projects, to be honest. The Another One demos. And this is the last one. This one is another one that kind of kept my cassette collection going. I just remember buying this one. It's Jay Som's Everybody Works, anticipated second album second project from Jay Som. First official album, I would say, from them. And I was really hyped to hear this one. I actually listened to the demos of it before it came out, and I was really looking forward to it, and it did not disappoint. Baby is one of my favorite Jay Som songs, and this cassette sounds